Hello and welcome back to the channel and the first episode of Ask Ricky, where you all get to ask me for advice on anything you want. That's something that I tend to talk about from time to time on the channel. Kind of similar to the old series Get to the Point, but for this series, I just want to talk and chill out and be kind of like a friend, although this is actually a parasocial relationship, but just be chill about it. Yeah, so if you need any advice for yourself about disability, deafness, mental health, LGBT issues, more specifically like bisexuality or child abuse, things like that, I will have the link to the form down below, and I hope to get these out every Friday as much as possible. If you like the idea of these series and want more in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads of it. Also, if you want to support this series, I do have a Patreon pledge, and for all of January, new pledges, even $1 a month, will receive a postcard with a little letter from me in the mail. So I'll have that link down below as well. So this person wants to know, am I considered disabled if I'm hard of hearing? I am mainstreamed and my country is very inaccessible to deaf and hard of hearing people. Okay, well, I don't know what country that you live in because this is anonymous, but talking about in the United States at least, from a medical standpoint, yes you are. From the standpoint of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, yes you are. From a personal perspective, that's going to be up to you. So for me, as a deaf person myself, I a long time ago used to not consider myself disabled because I was trying to fit in when I was first finding the deaf community online, and the type that I found online, I was trying so desperately to fit in with them, and they were very anti-disability. They were like, I'm not disabled, I'm not this, I can do anything but hear, da 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 da. And I was so trying to fit in with them instead of really thinking about myself and for myself. But now learning the disability community side, those with other disabilities, and how ableist that thinking actually is, I was thinking about it, and for me myself, yeah, I consider myself disabled because ADA, I need that, and also I have other disabilities as well, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and it's just disability, being disabled disability is not a bad word, it's not a bad thing, there's nothing to be ashamed of for that. It's just, well, I can't hear, yeah, that's a disability, okay, cool, let's move on. But I know that for a lot of other deaf people, like I said, they don't consider themselves disabled, and I said I'm just gonna fall under really team whatever you want to call yourself, because sometimes it can be real, it can be really exhausting trying to break that kind of mindset. So for you, really, it's going to be up to you. I can't tell you for yourself whether or not you're gonna feel like you're disabled or not, but I can tell you that from the medical standpoint, if you go to a doctor or whatever, they're probably gonna say, yeah, so you're disabled, whatever. And for the percentage of the deaf community and deaf people who don't consider deafness a disability, or they might consider deafness a disability from a medical standpoint, but culturally they don't consider themselves as that, and it's kind of a little bit more complicated thing. In the United States and in Canada and other westernized countries, even England, for example, maybe Australia even. Do we count Australia as westernized even though they're on the other side of the world? Something I never really thought about. But I know in other countries that don't have the same amount of access that we do, and for lack of a better word, just other things like that, they would consider themselves probably disabled and use disabled a little bit more so. I think I may be wrong, let me know if I am, please. I know, well, one of the countries that comes to mind is Russia, because they have a very strong, at least when I did a video way back when about how people wanted to tweak genetics so that way nobody would ever be deaf anymore. That's what I'm thinking of when there are countries where people are just yeah, we're just gonna use the word disabled because that's what it is. But yeah, ultimately, it's up to you, I guess, from a personal standpoint, how you want to identify yourself as, if you want to consider yourself just deaf or just disabled, or, use both like I do. I think I have a video kind of similar to this. I think it's mostly about the words like disability versus differently abled and how I felt about those words. So I'm going to leave down a link in a card on whichever side that they show up on. So you can watch that as like an add-on to this video. I think that'll also help a lot and give you a little bit more detail. If you are also a deaf person, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thank you, Anonymous, for asking a question. I hope I helped you out a little bit. If you would like to submit a question yourself, I will have the link to the Google form down below, and hopefully you'll be able to see your own question in its own video. If you would like to help translate this video, I have a link to the translation link down below. Helps out a ton. Be sure to like and share this video. That's always extremely helpful, especially the sharing part. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I will see you later.